G'day and welcome to Aussie Vision. And today we are talking about the national finals coming up this weekend in Norway, Lithuania, as well as those auditions in Malta and Moldova. Joining me to talk about the national finals are members of the Aussie Vision team. It's Hayley, Fleur, and Samuel. Hi, guys.
Hi.
Hello.
All right. Well, we've got not a huge amount of national final action, but like it's going to get busier in the weeks to come, but still some very interesting ones taking place. Let's start talking about Norway, because I think that's the one everyone's a bit kind of more excited about. We have all the songs for it. It's the third semi-final of Melodi Grand Prix, and it looks pretty stacked at the moment. But there's a few songs standing out. Fleur, what's jumping out for you?
I think, Freya by Maria Sellen, I think her name is. Like this is the typical, Norwegian song, like, tell us you're Norwegian without telling us you're Norwegian with the Viking thing going. It's about a Nordic Norse goddess. So, it's very, very, very Norwegian, but it's done really well. And I think this is going to be a real challenger to represent Norway. I'd have to say it's probably my favourite of the seven. But I think it's quite well produced. It's going to give Ulrika a run for her money, I think.
Yeah, I totally agree there. I think, you instantly know that the tune's from Norway. It's very mystical. You almost feel like you're being transported to the foggy Norwegian forest almost. And you can hear the fiddle, which is a very important instrument in Norwegian culture. I mean, even in a Eurovision context, you'd think of Nocturne in 1995, Alexander Rybak in 2009, but it still has that sort of techno beat, which is also a big part of Norwegian music. So I think this could really give Ulrika, a run for her money. I think we just have to wait for the staging, but I'm very excited by this as well.
Yeah, I agree. It has a real Norwegian vibe, and I think it will qualify easily. And I'm really looking forward to seeing the staging on this one as well. Very catchy song.
Yeah, it's very you're so everyone the spot like it's so Norwegian. You hear it, if you never knew where it was from, you'd be like, that's from Norway. Weirdly, I don't love this. I find it really and normally this is like something I would normally go for and love. I just find it a bit overproduced and a bit too much, but I do think the live could change my mind because we're hearing a studio track and maybe with her vocals and everything, I might just be like, okay, this is the greatest thing I've ever heard and I love it. But at the moment, I'm not convinced actually, but I'm here to be convinced. I'm missing something, but hey, there you go. I still think it's guaranteed to get through. Like, unless she bombs a vocal, which is impossible this year with auto-tune. So, almost impossible for some of them.
All right, I remember you loving Hammer of Thor last
year.
And this is more contemporary.
Yeah, but I'm dated. So also talking about some of the other songs, Akuvi seems to be getting a little bit of hype with Triumph. Samuel, what do you think of this song?
Yeah, I put this down as probably, I think, the second best song in the heat personally. It actually reminds me a lot of Rayleigh's Wild from NGP in 2020, getting a few nods there, which is kind of ironic because she was in that competition as well with Som Du Er. She's half Ghanaian, so I feel like she's channeling that in her song. And it's a great song about female empowerment and that women can achieve anything. I'm a builder empire, me and my girls, we're about to go. So, and she's opening the show, and every act in the MGP semis that has opened the show has qualified. So I think, that the producers are sort of building her up there. So yeah, I think this could do well. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it as well. I'd put it down as my second favorite, and my notes were I like the bass. I really like bassy tracks, and this is really good. I really like it. Yeah.
Same thing Samuel said. It reminded me of Rayleigh's Wild. And I'm surprised that it's so popular. I didn't really warm to it. I think I preferred her song from 2020 more, and that was the only Norwegian song in that final, if I remember correctly. Did she compete or was she a pre-selected finalist? I can't remember.
I think she automatically qualified from memory to the final.
I think so too, yeah. But it just sounded too much like Rayleigh's Wild and I couldn't get past that.
I agree with you, Fleur. Like, I was like, this is too like Control C, Control V, of Rayleigh's Wild. But I think also, we follow the national final so much, and even Norwegian audiences who watch it, some of them, I guess, will care. Some of them will be probably new to it, so maybe it won't matter. And I think what I need from this, a little bit like the last song, is I need like a banging live performance that can get me over just seeing Rayleigh perform Wild, and I almost want to sing that song alongside it. So Akuvi just needs to make it her own, and if she does, then I could buy into it a little bit. We'll see how that goes. Next up, Tyrrell with Break It. What do we think of this one, Hayley?
I haven't written too much down about. I've only listened to some of these songs just the once,
Yep.
and I just said it's a nice song.
Yeah, I kind of feel you there. Anyone else got any thoughts on this one?
I just feel like there's so many I just feel like there's so many sort of female pop songs even in this heat. It's kind of got a bit lost, I feel. And I think she's doing second in the running order, so I don't think the producers are giving much hope to this either, sorry. But I know that some of the Aussie Vision team was saying that this is perhaps one of the strongest semis, so I think a bit unfortunate with the draw there, but it's an okay song, but I don't say it would stand out for me. Yeah.
Like Hayley, my notes are inoffensive ballad, nothing remarkable. That's what I have. It's a nice song. Just think if this gets through, she's up against Elsie Bay and Ulrika, and I think with those two stronger songs, this is going to get shut down quickly. There's nothing there that would make me want to hear it again. It's nice background music. Sorry.
Yeah, but like, sometimes nice background music somehow in Norway gets through sometimes, but I hope it doesn't. No offense to Tyrrell, but it threatened to go somewhere. I really like the verses, and I was like, oh, I'm really interested in this. And I was like, is that it? It just flatlined for me. So we'll see if she brings something to the live. One that I actually like, Aline with Not Meant to Be. I really quite like this song a lot, actually. It's probably my favorite of this bunch. Did anyone else feel the same?
I liked it too. That was probably my second. It was my favorite until I heard Maria's song. The only thing is it's got so much in there. I think the only thing that might be missing from this song is rap. It's even got spoken word. It's got so much, but it's all done so well. Look, Scandinavian songs are done well, and I did notice that Aline, Akuvi, and Atla's song all have the same songwriter, and Andrea Stone Johansson, who I think has appeared quite a bit. So that's no surprise there that this is quite a good little package.
Yeah, I put that I quite like it as well, but I'm just a bit worried it might get swallowed up by some of the other songs. And maybe it's not very memorable because there is so much going on.
Any thoughts, Samuel?
Yeah, I think we pretty much said it. I think, it is a very competitive semi. So again, a nice song, but not sure if it'll do so well. But I guess we'll see. She's doing relatively well in the betting, I think. Not to sort of Maria's level to challenge Eureka and Alessandra, but we'll see how it goes, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, true. And the only downside of the song, as you mentioned, Fleur, as a part of it, spoken word. I always hate spoken word in it, so I just have to kind of like channel that off to the side and just let that be.
Don't like it.
And it's unnecessary in this song, I'll be honest. It doesn't fit in.
Yeah, it doesn't. So that's really interesting. So there's like those four songs I talked about, all female soul artists, some really big bombastic ones, some more kind of like softer mid-tempo kind of Norwegian pop. So it does feel like I don't see 3 qualifiers out of that. I probably see 2. So who could be the other one to jump out of the pack? Anyone? I think Hayley, you've got a song that you
okay. My favorite. My favorite
case.
Skrillex. She has a big point of difference being a drag queen. Look, it is a dated disco track. There's no doubt about that. But I see glorious staging. I see color. I see dancing. I see wow. And if she can sing the vocals, I think she's going to be remembered, that's for sure. So I'm really looking forward to seeing her.
Yeah, I totally agree, actually. That was my third favorite, actually. Though I think, to be honest, I'm not sure if it will qualify because, again, there's just so many pop songs. But she was actually, apparently I read somewhere, she was the backing dancer for the last drag act to perform at NGP, Queentastic in 2006. So she, it's great that we finally have a drag Queen back at NGP after 17 years, and she mentioned that as well. And she was inspired by Dana International. That's why she wants to perform at MGP. So, as Hayley says, it's a really I find it just so catchy. I think it might get a bit lost in the running order, but again, we'll see how it goes. Yeah.
I just put down that it's really dated. I'm happy she's there, and I'm sure she's going to give it her all. She's going to live her best life performing this, but I really cannot see this go through.
It's fun. I enjoy it. I like
Yeah.
it. It's fun. I enjoy it. I am definitely worried about the vocals. I feel like
Yeah.
auto-tune might be in full max mode here. But who knows? Maybe she's great, but I get the sense. But it is a fun song. And because it's just a little bit more boppy, I think there is a way for it to stand out. There is some pop, but it's all just a bit, as I was saying, it's all a bit nice, or it's the really full-on Norwegian thing, and it could jump out a little bit. And it's great, as you said, Samuel, to see some representation, especially after a few years ago when they had the song "I Am Gay" that was sung by a straight woman. And so it's nice to see actual LGBTIQ people singing songs about themselves. So any other ones the one that I wanted to just quickly point out, Atle Pedersen, or I think it is, with his little soft little man ballad. I think there's some nice, I really like the song. I don't particularly like him singing it. He does this high falsetto kind of part for the big moments, which I think kind of ruined the song a little bit. But I think just being this kind of man ballad amongst this kind of wall of, some great female pop there, he might just have a point of difference to stand out. That was the one I thought could be a bit of a surprise qualifier.
That's a good point, Dale. I didn't think of that. Yeah, he may stand out just because he's a bit different to the others.
Because he's a pretty man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not my type.
He's been there before with World on Fire. I do remember that. Was that last year or the year before? I think it might have been the year before.
The year before, I think. Yep.
Yeah. Look, that's a song that's not out of place at Melfest. So yeah, we've heard it all before. I think of the two male artists we have, this is probably the standout song, but I think I've just heard sort of better songs from this type of genre, I guess.
Yeah. I agree. Point of difference actually, because we've mentioned all the acts except for one, which is the other male vocalist, Stig van Ejek, I think that's how you say it, was Someday. I actually think that is the song that's going to be the third qualifier, in my opinion, actually. I just think it's just very unique in genre compared to everything else, there's Caribbean vibes. And we saw it with Swing It in the last semi-final in NGP, a swing, very unique genre, it just sort of stands out. Definitely, I don't think the best song, but because so many pop songs, especially female pop songs, that can really stand out and get people voting. Not so sure about the Caribbean vibe, to be honest, but it seems like the Scandinavians in Eurovision, they love the Caribbean vibe. Actually, Finland in 81, Sweden in 87, so Norway 23, maybe we'll see. Yeah.
Go for retro. Anyone else think that he has a chance with his Caribbean vibes?
Well, he's had his chance back in 1999. I don't know if anyone's heard that song, but it is very 99. It's definitely a song of its time. He's gone down the reggae path, and it's probably a good career move on his part, I dare say, because if you've seen that, he's not the strongest of vocalists. I mean, it was 25 years ago. I dare say he's come a long way. And if this is I have not kept up with his career. I don't know what else he's done, but if this is his career path, I'm happy for him. But it's a nice song. Look, it may get to the final, but I don't think it will get to the super final.
Yeah, I quite like it. I like reggae music, but it kind of reminds me of my holiday in Thailand a few years ago. I am not sure if there is a place for reggae at the national final, but we'll see, I guess. I've been wrong many times before.
There's always a surprise with these things. So I do think it's going to be an interesting one this weekend. The only one I feel very strongly that is through is Maria. I think that's 100%. Yep. And I think everything else is kind of up to take, basically. So should be an interesting one in Norway. Now, let's move on to Lithuania, happening the same morning, Sunday here in Australia, Saturday night in Europe. Now, we don't have all the songs, so we can't go through in a lot of detail. So I'm probably maybe talking about some of the artists we want to look out for here, because there are quite a few, including Monica from 2015. Anyone excited about Monica?
Yeah, I did like this time actually. It was you know, one of those, you know, sweet country songs, you know, and very cute with Vitus there. I'm not sure if they're or were even together in the first place, but I just remember that kiss at the end. She's probably relieved she doesn't have to go through as complicated process in 2015. I just remember it was very convoluted where they knocked out an artist and song at, you know, different points and all that. So it's good that she gets to choose her own song from the beginning. But I'm definitely looking forward to seeing her again. Yeah.
Yeah, I think she's a bit of a cutie, so I'm looking forward to seeing what she has. I'll miss having the boy the male that was with her
Hmm.
singing as well because it was really cute. I like that song too.
Yeah, going to what Samuel was saying, yeah, I'm curious to see what she comes up with because country pop isn't her thing. She's more of an indie pop, electronic pop artist. So I'm really, yeah, I cannot wait to hear what song she actually comes up with. Hasn't been released yet, so yeah, I guess we'll find out on Sunday morning.
Exactly. A couple other ones that are good, well-known names from the Lithuanian national finals the last few years. Gabrasi, who's competed the last two times and was runner-up to the Roop. There's a truck going past, excuse me. But was runner-up to the Roop in 2021 and competed last year as well. His song is out. I'm not sure if anyone's had. I just only listened to it just before.
I've heard it.
It's
Yep.
fine. It's
Yeah, it's fine.
nice.
This is fine.
Fine.
Yeah.
Anyone? Do you think? Do you think he has a? Is
Yep,
it as
I
strong
do.
as previous years?
No, I don't know about that. Possibly not. But I've written that it's a really nice song and it probably will qualify just on sentiment alone, I think. But maybe might not make it to the final. I'm not sure, but I've written it will qualify.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Fleur,
I've said that I do prefer it to last year's song. I don't think it's as good as Where'd You Want to Go?
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for the Roop, he would have qualified easily in 2021, I think. I think it was a definite second place there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure with this song. I don't know if it was written in Lithuanian and then translated to English because the words, the syllables are just so long and it's like he's tried to make the words fit into the song. That's what I got out of it. I don't know if anyone else did.
No, that's interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, I think he'll qualify. I don't know if it's strong enough to get to the final, as Hayley said.
Yeah, I agree with you, Fleur, about the lyrics. I felt some of them were very cheesy and predictable. Like it hurts the most. I just thought I saw your ghost. Like, you know, very sort of a bit. I felt like a bit cheesy, but I do think it's a nice tune. It's actually I thought better than most of the things we heard in the first heat. Actually, you know, that was very interesting. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I guess as you said, Fleur, as well. You know, I think if it wasn't for the Root winning in that huge landslide, I think he probably would have gone through in 2021. But
Yeah.
I think the one thing that stands out, I think, with Gabrasi in his songs is they're really well put together and produced. There's a lot of dinky sounding songs in Lithuania. Some people obviously just don't have the financial backing to put something together that sounds quite rich like this one does. And even though the song is not particularly amazing, I just think that kind of quality of the production almost on its own and just him will be enough to get through. But how far it goes, yeah, I don't see this getting the ticket. But hey, as you said, Hayley, earlier, I've been wrong many times before. Volt just mentioned we don't have to talk about him. Voldemars, who's been in the past, is also taking part, so one to watch out for. Now, I'm not sure if you've had a chance to check out the songs that have been released.
Yep,
Is there
I
any
have.
that any that jump out to any of you?
Yes. Yeah, there's two really big ones. Agne with New Start. This woman's voice is unbelievable. Definite qualifier. Has real Irish sort of, just feels very Irish vibes to it. And her voice is, if she can replicate that voice from her studio track, she'll wow everyone. It's incredible. And also Petunia. I'm assuming that's how you say it. Petunia. It's delicate. It's beautiful, and it's sort of like a pared back song. It's very light and simple. It has singer-songwriter vibes, but I'm not sure if she's actually one of the songwriters for this song. But it's called "Love of My Life," and it's just it would be one of those songs that would be minimal staging and that's all it would need because it's so delicate, just like her on a piano, dark, just a spotlight, beautiful. Definite qualifier, I think.
I do agree what Hayley said with those two songs. They were off the six. I think I've heard those were the standouts. We are getting the Pixels song at 9 p.m. tonight. They're the ones that have replaced the Lass who was disqualified. So curious to hear that. And I believe it's going to be in Lithuanian. But no, Anya and Petunia are definitely the two standouts off the ones we have at the moment.
How about you, Samuel?
I haven't had a chance to listen to everything because they've been sort of almost drip
Sporadic.
feeding the Lithuanian songs being released. So sorry about that. But
Oh no, don't worry.
all I can say is I'm looking forward to a very surprising result in this heat. All the songs that I thought would do well in the first heat. And then some songs like Ruta Ma obviously won the first heat for some strange reason. Still not sure why. So I'm looking forward to a surprising Lithuanian result either way. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't listened to every single one, but the ones that sort of stood out for me, I agree on Petunia. There's something very, really lovely about that. I totally agree, Hayley. That could actually end up going quite far in terms. It kind of reminds me not of the same song, but the same kind of quality that Eva had back in 2018 with that very simple thing. She just sat on the floor the whole national final song and did no staging and sang her little love song. It gives me that kind of like vibe. Also, there's another one called from Mario Jones. Do What You Do. I really like that. I think that might be the only one. I haven't checked it out. It's actually, I think it's good. Oh, I don't care about the lyrics. That's fine. Just gives me a good like Eastern European pop vibe. So check out that one. It's not bad, but it could be a total mess live. Let's wait and see.
Yeah.
All right, so stop laughing at me, Fleur. So that's Lithuania. Let's just quickly touch on the auditions. So it's quarterfinals of Malta, but essentially they're kind of like open auditions at the moment. This week we have a couple. Probably there is a Eurovision artist taking part in the auditions. Jessica from 2018. We've had a bit of snippet of her song. Has anyone checked it out?
No, I haven't heard it. Sorry.
That's okay.
I'm excited to hear it though, because I think I'm maybe one of the very few people in Europe and Australia that actually really liked her 2018 song. Maybe that's not a popular opinion. I know it's a bit cheesy, but I felt it was good cheesy. So I'm definitely looking forward to check it out at some stage. Yeah.
And it's nice that Jessica has a chance to maybe represent Malta rather than representing San Marino, but we'll see how she goes. I think she's had a few cracks in the past. There's also a chap called Ryan Hill. He seems to be the favorites among fans out of the snippets that's taking place this weekend. He's got a really big ballad. Sounds like he's got a wonderful voice, real man ballad going on here. So he might just be one to watch in the auditions to see how it goes live. But yeah, that's Malta. Let's move on.
I can't remember. There were so many snippets. I can't remember them all, to be honest.
And that's it. We always need to lead the live. Yeah. So probably the bigger one is Moldova, which is their open audition process is always interesting. And often sometimes after the audition process, they did this last year. They didn't have a final. They just chose their artists and went to Eurovision. But I think this year there definitely will be a final afterwards because we have 3 former Eurovision artists taking part, and I can't imagine they're just going to choose someone from the auditions and go through. I feel like with 3 Eurovision artists, they kind of need to have the final. So this should be really quite interesting. Now, amongst those Eurovision artists is, of course, Sunstroke Project from 2010 and 2017 with Epic Sax Guy. Now, Hayley, I know you're a fan of their song this year. What Yummy Mummy?
Yeah, look, the lyrics are a little bit cringeworthy. But oh my God, the first time I heard it, because I was very, excited, thinking, oh, I'm going to be let down, but I wasn't. It might not be as good as 2017, but I still really, it's got a certain kind of, it starts up it's a very full and heavy song. There's a lot going on, and it kind of stays like that. It doesn't like build up. It's just constant. It's just great. I just love it. And the sax is just really, really good. And I think they've outdone themselves. They should be very proud of that song. I love it. I really hope that Moldova sends it because I think it's a definite qualifier just on sentiment alone.
I'll say something. The lyrics to Hey Mama were pretty cringeworthy too. And oh dear. So that's nothing new from them. They do have a different sound now because I think the violin guy is gone. And we've got 2, I think it's a bass guitarist guy, and I'm not sure who the other one is. But anyway, there's 4 now. I will say that I'm fairly sure that we will have a returning artist representing Moldova this year. I've listened to the snippets, and the three of them have the three standout songs, without a doubt. The one that's really got my attention is Pasha Perfini's song. Because I was expecting something like Lauter, and the other one he came up with, I think, was it 2020, My Wine? Because they're really folksy, poppy, sort of that sort of accordion wedding music type sort of vibe. And this one's a bit more contemporary. It's got a bit of EDM going there. It's still got the folky vibe, but it's quite different. I really like this song. I think this could do quite well for Moldova as well as Aliona Moon's song. I think that, I liked all three, and I can't pick out which one I like the most.
Yeah, there's a lot of songs to choose from, that's for sure. I had another look at them last night. I'm just looking at them on my phone. There was one I liked for Nordica. They had two songs in, Squeeze Paradise, that's a rock song. There's one I want to hear more of, but I only heard a snippet, Corina Ivanov, When Love Is Real. I'd like to hear the rest of that before I make a full decision. Nihilist and Lisa Nicky, Final Destination. And then there was another one, Harmony Scuffle, favorite one, but one more, Adelina with Deja Vu. I'd like to hear the full ones of those, but they're the ones that caught my eyes just on a snippet.
Fair enough. And Samuel, what did you think? Out of those three Eurovision artists, did anyone jump out for you?
Yeah, I was going to say, like Fleur, I listened to all the snippets, and I think, the three Eurovision artists were the ones to stand out. It's interesting that, Pasha and Alina have gone their sort of separate ways, because Pasha was, Alina's pianist in 2013, and Alina was Pasha's backing singer back in 2012. So it's interesting that they split, and then they both now have very contemporary sort of dance style songs now, I feel. Very different from, Alina sang a ballad, and Pasha, had that very sort of folksy tune. But sorry, sort of circling back to Sunstroke Project, that is my favorite for me. They did actually a live performance on Moldovan TV already, and they've already got a cute and catchy dance down pat already. So I'm looking forward to seeing that again in the national final. And I'm really rooting for this. Might be controversial. I actually think it's better than their 2017 entry, actually. I think it's actually stronger, studio version, but let's wait and see. The only thing that sort of bugs me is, as an Australian, mummy with an O, like.
True, actually.
But,
true. Very good point.
I'm very looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I think sorry, I was just going to say, I think the Sunstroke Project have a real charisma on stage as well, and that really shines through. They're very likable, I think.
Yeah, you want to vote them. Hence how they did so well in 2017 and coming third overall is just that was not expected to do that well with Hey Mama. I loved it, but even I didn't expect it to come third place. So there you go. And how dare you say that, Samuel? Hey Mama is a brilliant masterpiece.
I didn't say it was bad. I just said this one I think is better. But
I do agree that the winner will probably come from those three. The other one that's jumping out actually among the fans and on my Eurovision scoreboard, which is where all the fans vote, not all of them, but a huge amount. Actually, another song is in front on first place, Lola with Temperatura, which just sounds like trop boppy kind of generic thing we've all heard before. But hey, some fans are liking this, so I guess that's one to potentially watch out for and see how it goes. It reminds me a bit of Dale Dale that was in a couple of years ago. So we'll see how that one goes. But look, the open audition process of Moldova is something to watch. It is quite late in Australia, 11 p.m. on Saturday night, which is a bit hard with the morning shows the next day, but there's always a couple of gems, not for the good musical quality.
It's the gift that keeps on giving, those national finals in Moldova.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes. So anyway, well, that's it for today. We've gone through all the big ones from this weekend, and thank you so much for all your opinions, Hayley, Fleur, and Samuel. I love that we had some completely different opinions on things rather than completely agree all the time. So that was fantastic. So enjoy the national finals this weekend, and I hope your favorite qualifies.
Yes.
All right. Catch you later. See ya.
Bye.
I think